Hey y'all. Happy Monday morning. We are back in the insanity of all insanity. So let's go ahead and get going. Hey y'all. Everybody doing okay this Monday? Everybody okay out there? You guys all okay today? How's this week gonna go? Everybody got their buckled up helmets on? Hey Natalie. Do you have Sleuth's mom video about you from this AM? May want to see it. Just an FYI, I think she wants. I've never even been to that lady's channel, nor do I care. Honestly, if I haven't paid any attention to, there's so many channels out here doing the same thing. And I'm not about to get into back and forth with some of these creators, especially ones I've never even talked about nor watched their content. So I couldn't tell you what she does, anything. It's useless to me, truthfully. Again, thank you for letting me know. But when people insert themselves, like, people want the back and forth. And it's so weird because it's like you totally miss the point of what's going on. Anyways, hey Duchess, hey Chapped, hey Lindsay, hey Marcy, hey Reese, Twin Thing, ASD, Sparrow, Pointer Lover, Cat's Eye Revival, Ella Green, Becca, Way Gomsheet, Stereophonics. Oh, I'm so sorry, Marcy. Cujo, Sheila. All right, y'all, we're going to hop into it, though, because we have a lot to get through, and I'm early anyways, so we'll just get through what we can. I do have to leave today. Hey, Tony, I can't talk. Kathy P, Sheila, Miss Britt. Whiskey's doing great. Marcy, I've heard. I'll have to catch it afterwards. Hey, Scooter McBooters. Hey, Wendy. Okay, so it's not in a ponytail. That's it. That's all. It's just not in a ponytail today, but thank you. Nothing's changed. It just really lightens up in the summer. So anyways, thank you very much, though. Hey, Liz. Hey, Teresa. Merp. Perry. All right. I was going to ask you guys where you wanted to start, but I already know where I want to start. So we have a lot to get through this week, just so everybody is aware. I have been working on the psychics, mediums, and tarot card readers and how they maneuver with cases like this. And the amount of exploitation is so heavy in that community itself. So you have true crime, and then you have genres off of true crime. So you have like the psychics, the mediums, all of those people. You have TC creators that specialize and claim they're professionals. You ex-professionals like Coffindoffer and all of those guys. You have so many different levels of this TC thing they call out here, which really in reality, it's not even true crime for the majority of it. It's not. It is slanderous exploitation to the finest, opportunistic. But I am at 55 channels right now with just in the mediums, psychics, and tarot card readers who have done readings on Sebastian's case. 55. My list is growing. And what we're going to do is we're going to walk through the majority of these channels. Yes, we're going to give them attention. I know some of you are like, why promote them? Because I want people to see what is actually happening. You need to see it, be a part of these conversations, and actually question these people on what is going on. truthfully. Like, people need to know what is going on. So the only way to do it is to show you what I'm talking about. I'm not just going to sit here and tell you, oh, go look at this, go over here and look at that. That's never been how I worked. There is going to be some things coming out this week and being discussed this week that are going to be a little bit hard for some people. So we'll just kind of do it in segments because, in my opinion, that preys on the most vulnerable and grief-stricken and people who want to find some sort of connection to something. So it is pretty hard. And Becca, you know what? I am all for that. I am all for people's spirituality, whatever you want to practice, do. Totally okay with it. There's a line, though, when it crosses into exploiting a missing child and preying on people at their most vulnerable time. If you do that stuff as a hobby, totally fine. Like, no big deal. It's how they do it. And yes, psychics have been known to solve cases or help provide details to solve cases. Not going to discredit that either, because when you're factually speaking about this, you need to be factual. But those psychics don't come to YouTube and give readings and then go try to do a show with it. They go to the police department if they have credible information that they think is really important. There's a big difference here. But let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to start with this little guy here. But I wanted to bring this up in the first place because we're going to go from here into crime lines and bullshittery Brooks herself from this morning. So, and yes, you guys, Erin, I appreciate you so much letting me know that there's you guys, this is what happens. I have had so many ridiculous videos made about me. And the funny thing is, too, is I thought she was cool. Like, I thought that account was cool with some of the people I tend to like. I guess the roles are just shifting. Everybody's going through that cycle now. The hater of my hater is my friend kind of thing. I mean, truthfully, I don't give a shit, because if I'm not concerned about you talking about you, probably not going to talk about you kind of thing. I don't know. Yeah. We're gonna talk about that. Find one by one. Yep, we're gonna definitely address that. Hey, is it Damaris? Thank you so much. Hey, Melissa, KCG, Small Wildflowers. Sheila, Erin said some account or the channel Sleuth Mom made a show about me or a video about. I couldn't tell you what she does. I've seen her on Queen Bee's panel one time. She popped into Britney's on a panel I was reviewing one time. I couldn't tell you. Don't want to. Oh, Erin, I'm sorry. Yeah, Steve, and trying to lump me into all the personal shit. Let me be very clear again. I am addressing Britney because of the misinformation that she puts out here, truthfully. It is not personal for me. I'm not in these cliques. I don't talk to 99% of these people that she knows. Like, I don't know shit. I couldn't tell you shit about her life, and I don't want to. So it's so weird to me that people are so like, what is nonsense going after Britney for? What is Britney going after? It's not like that, y'all. It's called, I commentate on your fucking shitty behavior on the internet. That's it. Hey, Pika. Hey, Am. Hey, Helen. I couldn't tell you anything. Hey, Cotton. I couldn't tell you guys. I've heard great things about her, so I couldn't tell you the slightest of what's going on, nor do I care. I don't have time for it. Anyways, carrying on. Schooly Mom, Rainbow Mom. Hello, everybody. Okay. Hey, Miss Leah. Okay, let's get going. But I want you to notice first and foremost, I'm going to put this big screen. Look at his thumbnail. I heard that, Scooters. Oh, Anderson. Yeah, he's cute. You see the thumbnail here? Interview with Tony Harris, spokesman for Sebastian Rogers and Caleb Harris. Anybody catch the big old mistake right in the thumbnail here? Anybody catch it? Hey, Chico. Hey, Bo. Hey, Oz. Yeah, I know. It's so weird because they do think like I'm trying to get into the crime. No, I've been doing this all. Like, it's just so weird. Hey, MK. Okay, you see it? The last name being spelled wrong. Did anybody see that right off the bat? I mean, you have so much respect for the cases you cover, right? And by the fucking way, hold on. I'm going full screen for this shit. Can't even get the last name right. The last name. Major issue. So, maybe I should save that. I'll save that. I'll wait. I'll tell you guys in a little bit. I'll tell you. I got lots to tell you guys after this crazy weekend. Oh, and one other thing. Let me tell you this too. There's so much that happened this weekend. I went on panels for the first time and people are like freaking out that I went on panels. You guys, I'm not afraid of panels. I just don't have much to say usually. Spudler, I don't know her. I couldn't tell you the slightest. But if you're throwing out shit about me, like, join the club. I don't care. There's just nothing personal towards these people. I am going on panels because this discussion is important to me. If you're having discussions that are important to me, I will definitely. I've never been adverse to taking a panel. That's why I went up. When you flat out lie about a petition that you claim is to get YouTube creators off the internet, I'm going to confront you on it. Truthfully, like, why wouldn't I? This matters to me. This fucking matters to me. Unlike the rest of you that are out here just playing games and drama bullshit, this matters to me. This conversation matters. You're not going to take and spin something that Arctic Fox is trying to do to help standardize Amber Alerts into a fucking poor pity me. Not going to happen. I will come directly to the source. This conversation is important and it needs to be had. And I'm not afraid to have it. I'm not afraid of people's opinions. I don't give a shit, truthfully, because we have people out here pretending to be Chris Proudfoot. Do you hear me again? We have people out here texting creators pretending to be Chris Proudfoot. I have proof in my fucking hands. 100% proof. I don't say shit to say shit. As soon as we can release it, it will be addressed. As soon as we can show you who is behind it, we will be addressing it. Trust and believe. I don't just spew shit out of my ass to spew shit. Some of you might want to pay attention and listen up because some of you might get a few clues here in this one or in the last couple that I've been telling you blatantly who is behind some of this. Okay, let's get going. I'm going to skip through all this self-promotion and we're going to get going. We're probably not going to listen to this whole thing. I am going to speed it up. But I want to point out some important parts. Yeah, some of you know I'm not fucking around. Some of you know. Some of you I trust and have seen what I'm talking about. Some of you know. And some of you know how bad it's about to get for some of these creators. And hey, do your thing. Ain't on me.
Did you call me earlier?
I'm not going to say what I called you. We're not going to say that on YouTube, but you know what I called you earlier. Anyway, so we talked before you came on here, and I appreciate you coming on again to kind of answer some of these questions. You set the internet ablaze a few days ago when you announced that.
Yes, Butler. As long as people aren't lying on me, I could care less. You can say anything about me. You can say anything about my horrific face, behavior, anything like that. You can say anything. Just don't say I'm lying because that's going to probably come back to haunt you. So, I mean, but as far as that, let him be, you guys.
That you were going to be working with Seth Rogers and Sebastian Rogers, this case, in addition to Caleb Harris, who you've already been working on.
Yep.
And so that's raised a lot of questions from people, and I figured we could just take an opportunity to give some updates on both of those cases and go through some of these questions or comments that they have.
I'm now the most hated man in America somehow.
Yeah, I know. I know. But here you are.
So I've told you guys right now, for me personally, again, this is my personal opinion. I am hopeful that this actually slows down some of the misinformation. The jury's out on where this is going to head, how this is going to go. But truthfully, this is the time that I sit back and hope to God that this is one solution to a bigger problem. And I don't have any feelings about Tony himself. I'm just hoping that this slows down some of the misinformation, but it could completely do the opposite. We just don't know yet. We don't have enough proof. But he talks about some things that I want to clarify in here.
I have you, so it's okay. It's okay. You can be safe, sort of safe space. Just don't look at the comments. I don't know. Actually, the comments could be nice. I don't know.
Yeah.
But with that being said, before we get into the questions, I haven't done a Caleb update in a while. Is there anything new to report with that?
No, not really. I mean, we have a lot of faith in law enforcement in that case. And we do believe that law enforcement has got a lot of data they're sifting through. And I think the family is very positive right now that some of that evidence is going to lead to something good. So,
okay, he opens with Caleb.
Been a digital.
let me.
About it, right? So,
Right.
Hopefully we'll have some updates or some information we can work with soon. But, Caleb has not been found. Caleb has not been.
Not that Caleb doesn't matter either. Please understand that that's not what I'm doing. Caleb,
If you can remember,
and deserves to be brought home just like everybody does.
Grab off of the Find Caleb Harris Facebook page or missing Caleb Harris missing page. Update wise.
So are we wanting to talk about the North Carolina situation? Is that what you're alluding to?
Well, I wasn't alluding to anything. We can talk about whatever you wanted because I don't know what.
So Tony is I don't know. He claims to be working for free as Seth. Sorry, Kiki wants in. Seth PR, kind of his handler, like a PR face. He came out the other night on Pascal's show actually and started his kind of middlemanning a little bit. Again, you can take it for whatever it is. You guys can all have your own opinions on this. I am hopeful that it slows down some of the misinformation and can help the parents somehow get ahead of some of this stuff, but it's to be seen yet.
You know that you can say, but yeah, we can talk about the North Carolina thing. I made a video earlier about it, and for people who don't know what he's talking about, you probably do, but just in case, there is a photo that's been floating around for about a week now, right? And it first came out that, hey, this looks like Sebastian Rogers. And then it was like, is it AI? Is it Sebastian Rogers? Well, apparently where law enforcement stands is.
I've heard him compared to Tim Mullins over and over again. Again, I don't know anything about the Tim Mullins guy, nor do I care to, because it's a part of another case that has been completely ran through the mud by 99% of the creators that are doing this again. However, we just don't have enough information if this is going to be helpful or harmful. I mean, at this point in time, everybody that's came in between the PIs, the search, it's just been so much chaos and nonstop, and it still continues. And we'll get into a little bit more of that coming up because we're going to look at Brooks.
They do not believe that it's AI. They don't necessarily believe it's Sebastian Rogers, but they believe that it is a real photo. It is something that they are investigating. They've talked to the woman that took the picture, correct? If I understand.
Correct. One of the PIs has talked to her.
Okay, so they talked to them, but they're still investigating it. Nothing's been confirmed or denied yet. So right now it's a viable lead.
Correct. It's part of the investigation for sure.
Yeah.
Is there anything else about North Carolina that you can speak
No,
to?
I think just everybody knows Seth went out there and they wouldn't let him see the footage. Law enforcement had told them not to let anybody see the footage. So, in the world that we live in, that's all great stuff, because if there's nothing to see here, then why are you protecting the footage? So, everything like that leads them to believe that they've got some real footage, proof of life, so to speak. I mean, that's fantastic.
And that footage came from the visitor center, I'm assuming, surveillance.
But instead of waiting for law enforcement, everybody has had their own opinions. Justin went down there this weekend. All of these people, trying to get in on what's going on down there potentially could be, I think if law enforcement had something more and could give the public an update, they would. Again, this goes against, everybody continues to say law enforcement isn't doing enough. Yeah, they are. They're doing a lot.
From there.
Correct. Yeah.
There's a lot of rumors regarding that photo that the woman in there is somehow related to Sebastian or related to Chris or Katie or Seth. I mean, I've heard all different versions of it. Is there any truth to that rumor that you were able to speak to?
Not to my knowledge. That person in there is a lady with a blonde hair and a bun, and I think there are people that speculating there might be some similarities, but I don't think there's really anything to that. I think it's just that she may not even be related to the kid in the picture.
I was glad to hear him say that. We have no proof that she was even with the individual in the photo. No proof.
It could just be an angle,
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I just wanted to make sure we address that coming from your mouth.
Sure.
To kind of stop that on the internet.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that's new regarding Sebastian's case that people should be aware of?
Not at this time.
All right. Well, let's get into you then. So
Wonderful.
I know you're very excited. I have a list of questions because I asked my followers, hey, what do you want to know? And then I asked some of my own too. I guess let's start with Caleb, because that's what kind of brought you into this world. Well, actually, let's actually go back before that. Tell us, whatever to the degree that you're comfortable sharing, what's your background as far as like what you do.
Pay attention.
What you want people to know about you.
So let's just have a conversation, right?
Yeah, have a conversation.
So I have no spokesperson background. I did not wake up 2 months ago and decide that I wanted to be somebody's spokesperson. I'm not one of these people that wants to put myself in somebody's bad situation. I'm a normal guy. I've got a normal family. I've got a great family. I've been blessed in life. And I happen to be really good friends with Randy Harris. I work with him. He likes me. He trusts me, and the feeling's mutual. And when I started out with Caleb's case, it was kind of like this deal with Seth. I mean, I just started out giving him advice from the background. I helped him kind of gain control of a Facebook page to where we could kind of control the message and use it to, create some volunteers and whatnot. And, he got about a week and a half to 2 weeks into that. And it became, when we would talk, it was more, man, I could really use you here. I could really use somebody handling these interviews and whatnot. And I just told him, I said, brother, all you got to do is tell me what your needs are.
So he was asked to assist.
And, I'm there for you. So if you need me to help you with interviews, if you need me to set up interviews, if you need me to do interviews, if you need me to be on interviews with you, I'll do anything you need me to help you do. And that's kind of how it all got started.
So basically and you worked with Randy, correct?
Yeah, we worked together for coming up on 3 years.
So Randy Harris, and then work together, and you sell cranes for a living, correct? That's
correct.
Day job.
I cover. I live in Oklahoma, but I cover like the northern part of the country, North and South Dakota. I'm in a hotel room in North Dakota right now.
So the next thing I'm going to say, and I already know the answer to this question, and I'm going to ask it anyways, even though it seems like a
Nodak, my home state.
A dumb question, but I know how the internet works. Do what?
Probably is.
Yeah. Chris Proudfood works with cranes as an operator, and you sell them. Is there any connection there?
No, sir. I didn't know.
These people will try to find anything at this point. Seriously.
First conversation I had with Chris and Katie, when I was talking to them about being a spokesperson for all 3 members of the family, that's when I found out that he operated a crane. So the crane world is big but small. So we know some of the same companies that we've worked together with, but he operates a crane in the southeast part of the country, and I sell cranes up in the northern part of the country. So not only would I not know him, but we wouldn't even cross paths like ever. So it's just a coincidence.
And crane operators don't deal with the people buying cranes or leasing them or anything like that. Like, that's just not how construction. These people will grab anything though.
That's all.
So as far as Randy's case goes, Caleb's case goes, let's go into that one first, because you know that when we get into the Sebastian Rogers case is very, very
Karma, thank you for becoming a member, by the way. I just remembered to say that.
Very convoluted with a lot of layers. Caleb's right now is still fairly straightforward. I mean, there are layers to it, but it's easier. Is there anything, like, how do I want to ask this? Well, I'll just ask it this way. Is there any financial gain for you for working?
So there is not only zero financial gain. I've not taken $1 from Randy. Randy can verify that. People can reach out to Randy to verify that. My wife and I have spent money out of our pockets for me to be able to be with him in Corpus Christi. I am not. I'll let you ask the next question, but
I find that highly admirable. First and foremost, that he is just attempting to help these families, and he's talking about Caleb's family. I find that amazing.
Just answer it for you. I'm not taking any money from Seth. Seth has nobody on his team right now that's getting paid anything. I'm strictly a volunteer.
Okay. Seth has nobody on his team right now who is being paid. That includes the PI, if the one is even still left. I know the other one left at the end of last week. Heather pieced out. I don't know if Chloe's still involved. I don't know if all of their searchers and stuff going down. Now, this is becoming very controversial, and that's why I'm starting here, because this gentleman being involved has caused a lot of chaos on the YouTubes. People are pissed. And here's my opinion why people are pissed. Because this man has the potential of calming things down and stopping some of the flow of misinformation that's been coming from Seth. That is my opinion. Again, Seth is in a vulnerable spot. He's got a child that is missing, along with Chris and Katie. And people have taken full advantage of that to create and spin narratives. And if this man, again, you guys, I come from the perspective of this is more a form of advocacy than anything we've seen so far. You can have your personal likes and dislikes of how he got involved here or there, but this is somebody that has no personal vested interest here, that just wants the best for these families. From what I'm seeing so far, again, time will tell.
Here, I've been blessed in life. I'm in a good situation financially. And even if they offered me money, which I don't have the skill set to back that up, I wouldn't take.
Shirley, well, how do you explain how PIs, I mean, a couple of them are close enough that they can travel and stuff, but same with what we've been seeing. A spokesperson is just a person, like a liaison, who comes in and sits beside you. You don't have to be physically there. And he just stated that he flew to Texas to be with the Harris family. I don't think traveling this is what he does for a living, is what he was stating. So I don't think that's off from what he is able to do. I don't know. I don't see anything wrong with it, because right now I think they're trying to calm down the internet misinformation. That's my take.
Take any money from one of these families going through this. And if I couldn't spend my own dime to help and to be there for them, then I wouldn't do it.
You think he's another clown?
And that's the same with, I'm guessing the same with Caleb's case as well. There's no, because there's rumors out there. And again, I've spoken to you a lot, so I feel that I know the answer to this question, but I'll ask you anyways. There's rumors that people are floating out there that you were being compensated out of the GoFundMe that they were putting together for Caleb. And I'll just let you address that. I believe I know the answer. In fact, I do know the answer, but I'm going to let you answer it.
So I started the GoFundMe account with some other coworkers, and I put the first $500 into that account for the family. I never actually had access to the account because it was the first GoFundMe account I'd ever created. But when you create a GoFundMe account, the money is basically in a cloud until you direct the account or the platform
until you assign a beneficiary
to dump into somebody's bank account.
Mm-hmm.
So all the way until a month or so ago, that money was in a cloud. I had no access to it. And at the point in time that Randy was ready to have that dumped into his account, he gave me that information. We had to go back and forth through some verification, emails, and then the money went in.
So I'm glad that you answered that. Thank you, because I know that's been something that's been floating out there. And
again, a different case, but he's talking about the GoFundMe for the Caleb Harris one, which I think, because people are saying he's money motivated. We'll see.
Wanted to make sure that people knew that you're doing this as a volunteer, because you are. Your own time, your money, you're taking, so here's what I can tell you about Tony, because obviously y'all know that we've spoken multiple times. You've seen me with him, here on TikTok a few times. Tony also has a family, and I'm not gonna get into the details of his family, but he's working.
I didn't want to be involved in this case because it was so muddy. But we had some common acquaintances, Seth and I did. And without getting into a lot of that, some of the acquaintances had connected me with Seth and told me that he needed some guidance, some direction. Started about 3 weeks ago. About 3 weeks ago, he was concerned about search and rescue. So I was trying to get him set up with some search and rescue people. And
I find that to be really odd that he says Seth was concerned about search and rescue. And here's my reasoning for it, is because all of the law enforcement have been all over. EquiSearch was brought in, which we know Seth wasn't too pleased about something with Dave Rader. I still don't know, but they have had huge search. I don't get this. This is something that to me just is.
And then as we got to talking each and every day, it became more obvious that he wanted somebody doing his interviews. He wanted somebody helping him with interviews. He wanted somebody handling all the media, and he just didn't want to do it. So what happened was I told him that if I was going to do it, I said, I need to talk to my wife. I need to talk to the Harris family.
Wait, who's got a felony record? Wait. Hold on. Going back up. Terry, this gentleman has a lengthy criminal record? Please tell me no. Touch grass. Hello. No. So he's out here cold case following these guys too. Oh my fucking God. Are you Can people with felonies change? Absolutely. Yes. 100%. Can they do good? Yes. But what? Well, okay. Thank you. Okay. Y'all, why this? There's a child missing here, y'all. Oh, bad checks. Okay. There's a child missing here. Like, why is everybody that's getting involved in this so fucking fucked up? Truthfully. Why? No, I don't. See, Laura, I don't want to look in their backgrounds. This is a family of a missing child. Why are they doing this? Oh, well, he's not acting as a PI though, right? He's just a PR, right? Oh my God. Well, there's only one other part that I wanted to listen to because I just wanted to hear you guys hear what he's claiming and have a baseline to develop our opinions off of, because truthfully, I don't have a clue. It has been such a chaotic mess with the team. I keep referencing this team of misfits, T-Rev, the PIs, Brothers Underwater Recovery, RSO that was out there searching for Sebastian. Like, there has just been one problem after another.
If I'm going to do it to help you, I'd really like to represent all three of you, because back then it was, Team Seth, Team Sebastian. I just didn't think it would be productive to represent, one side, so to speak. So, we spent the next couple of weeks, trying to get Chris and Katie on board. And, to this day, I don't know that won't ultimately happen. But, right now, Friday, I agreed, Seth finally just laid it out there and he said, look, are you going to do this for me or not? And I said, yeah, brother, I'll do it for you. But even now, I'm still doing what I can do to protect Chris and Katie. I'm still trying to keep people from.
That was hopeful to me.
From bringing them up or saying anything malicious to.
That's never going to happen. In fact, we're going to look at a stream from this morning. That's a blatant, obvious. You'll see.
Towards them. And of course, Seth, we did an interview the other night and I felt like it was really clean. There was no drama, which, there's a lot to be said for an interview in this case with no drama. The offer still stands with Chris and Katie. And quite frankly, if we could get this family all working together, not just superficially, but deeply, I could keep everybody from out in front of a camera and we could go back to focusing on Sebastian. And
see, that would be incredible in my opinion, because Sebastian has been lost in his own story.
I don't really care. I don't really care what anybody thinks about me. I mean, I'm just a normal guy. I don't claim to be an expert in this. I didn't ask to do this. But I've got half the world out there throwing darts at me, and I'm a big boy with broad shoulders and thick skin. And if I've got people throwing arrows at me and literally creating YouTube, lives to talk about me when they've never met me, that's fine. I'm okay with it. Because if they're doing that to me, they're not doing it to the.
Can I say something that's controversial? There's not a Cash App scrolling for this guy. I haven't seen any fundraising on behalf of this guy. I haven't seen him out here with starting his own channel yet that I've seen. So those are some good things in this whole weighing out where we're headed with this. But so far, it doesn't seem to be self-promoting in a way. I mean, he was asked to go on the show. I don't know.
Family. And let's face it, those types of people, they don't care anything about Sebastian. They're never going to care.
I agree with him here. I 100% agree with him here. They don't care about Sebastian, you guys. This is content on the internet for them. And I'm going to show you a prime example of that.
Anything about Sebastian. They're never going to get on the ground and help. They're never going to put any positive vibes out there for the kid. So they're going to throw arrows at somebody.
He sells cranes solo.
It just as well be me. And if they're throwing them at me, they're not throwing them at the family. And, Justin, you've dealt with enough spokespeople to know that, part of the job is taking arrows, and, it's just part of the deal. And I'm okay with it. I mean, I would suggest.
Pascal referred this guy to Seth. Isn't that ironic that one of the biggest shit show creators in this whole thing, Pascal, referred him? Interesting how that works. That's how you keep content close, keep the avenue to a family member, but try to make it look like you're doing something for the better good for all families. Yeah.
That if somebody want to know me and not what they've heard or what they've researched or whatever, I'm an open book. I talked to a lady today on Facebook that kind of sent me kind of an edgy message. And I just picked up the phone and called her on Facebook. We had a 30-minute conversation. Never met her before in my life. She was a great lady. And by the time we got off the phone, she said, you're not what I thought you were. And I said, well, how would you know what I was if you never talked to me? And she said, well, that's on me, but I greatly appreciate your time in the call. And boy, I had you wrong. Well, I'd just like a chance, but if you're not willing to give me a chance, then hey, keep doing what you're doing. I'll keep doing what I'm doing.
So going back to me a second ago, I know that you've been talking to Chris and Kate. Are they on board with you at this point, helping them as well? Or are you still working to get them to come around?
I'm still working to get them to come around.
Okay. So with you coming in.
By the way, shameless plug here. For those of you that missed Duchess's stream last night, the t-shirt giveaway in the stream about the billboards. If you want to help with keeping Sebastian's face out there, doing something proactive, here we go. Here, let's do a little introduction. For all you creators exploiting the shit out of Sebastian's case, not doing anything with all of the money that you're making off of YouTube, myself included, okay? You could do stuff for these cases like donating to the billboards, donating to things that need done for these cases. I myself have done so. Many of you know that already. Billboards, anything like that. If you want to help do something proactive, not just talk about it, and I know not everybody can, but those of you who are creators especially, that have made this your content over and over again while not donating or doing anything to help this case besides spread rumors and speculation, why don't you put your money where your mouth is and go donate to something like billboards, start your own billboards, do something for the missing child that you've been exploiting on the daily. I mean, I think it would be great. I did it myself. If you need verification of that, I'll show you. I have no fucking problem because I don't just talk about it. I am about that life. Go over to Duchess's last video. Her Cash App is there. If you need me to drop it here, for those of you that want to donate to billboards, we do have, I think they're going to find location, or they're picking locations, and all of that will be done. If you want a t-shirt that has Sebastian's face on it that Katie designed herself, there's no profit involved in that. The phone number, all in Duchess's stream, they're $22 for a small, medium, large, $1 extra per X, and shipping and handling. It's a local business out there, so you'll have shipping and handling, but there's nobody profiting in it, and Katie designed those t-shirts. Again, Duchess's stream from last night. Please go check it out. If you want the links here, I will gladly drop them.
So somebody said something in the comments, and so I'm going to work it into the question. A lot of people like Seth Rogers' authenticity is, I think, the word that they use, but you know how he is. He's off the cuff. He's just Seth Rogers. He is who he is. And a lot of people are drawn to that kind of, I don't call him a loose cannon because he's not, but he's been known to, you know, say some things kind of that you didn't expect him to. With that being said, what do you say to people who are worried about taking away that authenticity, but then also going hand in hand with that? What are you doing to help Seth and Sebastian in this case?
Excuse me, I got a cough. Seth does not enjoy being on camera, and that came
Kind of fooled me.
out of his mouth, not mine. I'm not trying to keep the world from Seth, but the Seth that was getting emotional and saying things that he regretted later, admittingly, he was not helping his own cause. And so my goal is to mitigate some of that. If we think it's good for him to be on camera, he can be on camera. I'm not telling him what to say and what not to say. I did tell him to try to keep it clean. If he got frustrated, to be frustrated. If he broke down, it's okay.
You know what? I find that to be just so ironic. I cannot understand humans. All of you adults, listen up. I don't care if you are the most Christian, perfect, whatever you want to claim to be. If language from a parent of a missing child, or language from any adult where you can choose to click out, I mean, really bothers you, and it thinks that somehow you're going to melt by hearing cuss words. This is a family going through the worst moment of their life. Some colorful language is the least of our worries. They are in fight or flight mode. They are absolutely dealing with emotions that I wouldn't wish on anybody. His language shouldn't even be an issue for anybody. If him telling you all to fuck off if you're not Team Sebastian, if that's so affecting you, please fucking log off. Please. This is a free app. You also have a brain. It's maybe, like I said in the post, or like I commented in the meme, maybe we should tell people the brain is a free app. That was the perfect one for this weekend.
You know, if you feel broken, then show them that you're broke down. I mean, it's okay. I just think Seth feels comfortable, a lot like Randy Harris does. He feels comfortable having somebody there that if a question's asked that he doesn't feel comfortable answering, instead of going ahead and answering that, he's got somebody there to say, you know what, we're not going to talk about that right now. And and I'm not a control guy at all, but I have no problem controlling a situation if I think it's going to help Seth and or Katie or Chris and or, more importantly, help find Sebastian. So I'm just kind of being a mediary, and you know, I'm not trying to get in the limelight. I mean, I'm not trying to be a YouTube guy or TikTok guy. I mean, I'm trying to help two dads that desperately want their kids back. find their kids. And it's not anything other than that. I don't make money. I lose a lot of time with my family. There is nothing in it for me. I've never been attacked in my entire life like I have the past 48 hours. And I still don't know what your perception of somebody has to do with somebody that's willing to volunteer their time to help a family in need. I mean, I'm just lost. I don't get how people could be angry with that, but trust me, there's plenty of them.
No, you're not wrong there. I think that, there's been a lot of creators, a lot of people who have, everybody basically connected with this case. And I'll just go ahead and say this. I've covered a lot of true crime, starting with Gabby Petito on social media, and I have never.
Yeah, let me say something about you TikTokers coming over here. I hope the one that I commented on their page gets a memo. You remember, Deets, are you still in here? Do you guys remember the live stream the other night when they were coming in trolling Deets over the barbecue lady? Well, I figured out who barbecue lady is. She happens to be a co-host of one of these fucking channels that I've been seeing all the shit stemming from on TikTok. TikTokers, I got a prize coming for you. I'm going to do a segment called TikToker's Worst True Crime Creator of the Week. And we're going to go through and vote, because let me tell you, there's some of them, a lot of them, not just Justin, coming over to this app thinking that they're just going to regurgitate all the speculations and rumors and make a show into it and continue to like do this whole segment. No, you're not. No, you're not. Nope. We're not doing that. And the ones like, oh my God, T-Rev, that's my man. If that gives you an example of how this is going to work. And trust and believe. It's a whole shit show. But I got my eye. I see him. I see them. They see me. I made sure I commented. You might want to just stay over on your little TikToker app there with your speculation and the videos that don't save, because they're probably going to save your ass from a whole lot of slander and defamation you guys do. Anyways, carry on.
Ever seen anything like this case? The way that it's being, I mean, the case is weird. It's obviously bizarre. We know that there are things that.
I wonder why, Justin. I wonder why. Taking zero responsibility for all the misinformation that you yourself have put out here time and time again.
That just don't quite add up. But the way that people are really choosing teams and really going to bat and getting angry about it, where, as even I had to kind of take a step back with this and say, hey, look, you can't be team.
We're going to fast forward. You can't, let him finish.
Team Seth, you can't be team Chris and Katie. Why can't we just all come together, have the common goal of finding Sebastian? That's
because you've run them through the mud over rumors and speculation. I mean, again, it's so interesting to me to see creators say, the United States has a lot of missing children. We say we, but these creators are like, we have to pick a side team. Which one are we going for? It's dodgeball. No, there's a missing child here. Like, adults trying to figure out how to adult is really quite an interesting concept on this app lately.
That is the only team that we should have here at this point. And so from that perspective, I made the decision to step back, not talk about Seth, not talk about Chris and Katie, and just really focus on Sebastian. But you're right. Walking into this, especially now 2.5 months in is where we're at. It's brutal out there if you're a face associated with this particular case. And you're finding that,
especially if your face is ugly like mine.
Well, fair enough. Then I don't think I'm going to touch that one. But
well, and the other thing too is one of your viewers just said it in the comments, and it didn't really hit me until I saw that. But there are people that make a lot more money if this family is going back and forth at each other, and they'll make money a day or two going in and criticizing me and criticizing everything about me, but eventually that money train will dry up.
But he's right. He's not off on this.
And if I'm the guy that stops the family drama, then I impact some people's income. And there could be some people that are irritated about that. But you know what? It's not about your income. You meaning a YouTuber. It's not about a TikToker's income. It's not about Justin. It's not about Pascal. It's not about any of the other people.
Justin's over here. Stop. Don't ruin my income for me.
That I consider to be, friends of mine.
Anybody remember that Justin's the guy that had the signs with the plane flying around in Florida? Does anybody remember that? Yeah, this guy is master of chaos behind the scenes and puts on this sweet and innocent little face. He's as grimy as the rest.
It's about the kid. And it's not about anything but that. And I know it's not with you. And I know it's not with Pascal. And I know it's not with some of the other people that I trust, like Jennifer Coffindaffer.
Oh, yeah. If you trust her, Miss ex-FBI agent trespassing, If you didn't see what I'm talking about, she just pulled up and decided broad daylight to go walk all over where John O'Keefe was found. What? Okay, guy, you're losing me real fast.
But
you guys, for most of you, you know me. You know that, yeah, he flew planes during the Gabby Petito days. Yeah. Yep. Yes. He had the planes with I can't remember what they said, but they had a banner behind him. That's this guy. Yeah. 100%. Yep. But I always I try to give people the benefit, even if I don't like them. It takes a lot for me to dislike you, and I dislike a whole lot of you. A whole lot. I'll be honest. My list of liking people is so much shorter than the dislikes because it's not that hard to be a decent human being and not exploit these cases. It really isn't.
There are some people that it's about the money. And I can tell you that the same people that are criticizing me for helping this family have made far more money over covering this family than I'll ever make, because it would only take.
But yet they're throwing a fit because they're worried about you squashing some of the rumors.
From $1 to do that.
Yeah, it's one thing too when it comes to cases like this is, true crime obviously is a very big genre as far as content creation, as far as TVs, movies, things like that. It's
as far as opportunistic and exploitation, 100%. And let me say this once again, since I think the wires somehow get crossed for some of you all who are fellow creators even. This isn't about taking true crime off the internet. There is such a need for transparency in these cases, the judicial system, all of that. Victims have rights, and it's about time that the victims' rights trump your First Amendment, your freedom of speech, all of those bullshit things. I'm so sick of hearing this. I'm so sick of it. It is so disgusting at this point to hear all of this shit.
It's a massive market. And what I frequently like to remind people pretty much through every case is that this, as entertaining as it might be to you or as invested as you get, remember that there are real family members associated with it. There's a real child with both of them, with both Caleb and with Sebastian. You have two children. I mean, and obviously I know Caleb's an adult, but he's still a child to his parents. But there are two kids that are missing. He's a kid to me too, because he's like 21, 22, but they're kids and they're still missing. They still need to be found. And whatever outcome or fate that they have, whether they're found alive or not, then at that point, they all deserve justice and the family deserves to have answers. So just reminding people that, hey,
it's a little late for your reminders there, Justin.
Isn't about entertainment. It's spreading awareness, trying to make sure that these names, these faces get out there and get found, and every missing person deserves.
Facts don't matter to Justin. Never have.
And really, Seth, I mean, if Seth wants to have somebody speaking for him, he's entitled to that. It's not anybody's call or business. If Seth wanted to have some guy that was a janitor down at the convenience store talking for him, if that's what he wanted, then that should be what it is. And
that's true, though. Truthfully, like, he's entitled to do as he wants.
And if you care anything about the father or the child, you shouldn't question why they're doing what they're doing. You should let them handle the worst situation in their life the way that they see fit. It's not our cross to bear. It's not our catastrophe. It's his catastrophe, and it's Katie's and Chris's, and it's all this family's catastrophe, and it's Randy and Becky Harris's catastrophe.
I'm going to fast forward it because he goes on and on for a minute. There's a couple parts I want to finish out with.
By that, then they're more likely to start communicating with the family, and that's going to be my first angle.
I think that sounds like a really great place to start. As far as Caleb's case goes, though, are you able to?
Yeah, we're gonna move right along here.
Even know how many interviews? I'd say probably hundreds at this point of interviews. And so, anyways, so the whole purpose of him coming in there is basically to help clean it up, make it look a little bit better. And I think that we can talk about his interview last night. He was sitting there.
Okay, we're gonna go to the 15-minute mark because these guys just kind of draw
directly. I have Joe's number. You can put in a text, I'll forward it on, and I'll send you back his answer. Those are basically the questions that I had for you. We can obviously take some from the comments if anybody wants to ask. I did see one actually earlier.
Susie Q, a lot of people have that because it's a disclaimer that most YouTubers get. Yes, it's a missing child. It is not entertainment, but on YouTube, it's just kind of that arena thing. I get what you're saying. 100% agree with you. It's not fodder for the internet. However, this is people come here instead of Netflix. So it is for some a source of entertainment. It's nothing like that but you can, of course, make it into anything.
That I do want to ask that I think Bullhorn Betty was asking, which is, at this point, we've all been made aware of.
You can make it into whatever you
I'll
want.
call it alleged abuse that went on in the household. According, there are things that neighbors have said, things that Chris and Katie and Seth have said. Do you know if there's anything happening or movement with that?
I don't have about any of that. I've heard rumblings, but the only thing I'd say is that if you have a neighbor that's credible and a neighbor knows that a kid's missing, why on earth would a neighbor wait 60 days to disclose anything serious about Sebastian? I mean, I'm not saying it's BS, but
I am. It's straight BS.
Be leaning towards it's BS, because no normal person would wait 60 days to come forward with something like that. And I heard the whole power.
No normal person would text people and pretend to be Chris Proudfoot and develop text messages that include their own name. And according to these messages, they were forwarding with Chris's name and the so-and-so person's name in them. Like, created an entire thread that supposedly was between this person and Chris, screen captured that, sent it to somebody else as though he was having this conversation with Chris behind the scenes. Why would people do that? People do all sorts of crazy shit nonstop. And we're going to get into more about this neighbor's interview here in a moment.
Washer comment. And again, I'm not going to get involved in spreading rumors, because that's what people do about me. And I don't really care for it. I know that the parents don't care for it. Step parents don't care.
Susie Q, I notice what I catch on my screen, that as it's scrolling by when I'm switching back and forth between screens. I don't care if you remember a hater of mine. I'll acknowledge you if you have something to ask, and you did. Like, it is something that it bothers me too about the entertainment, because there's nothing entertaining about people at their worst time. However, in this genre of like, it's a mess as is. You can take it for what it is. For most of us, it's not entertainment. It's just a disclaimer
For it. I heard this, this power washer thing. And I mean, let's face it, anybody that's ever used a real power washer, if you did something other than spray the kid with the mist, which is what I do to my wife and my kids when they come outside when I'm power washing, Sebastian would.
It would totally depend on the PSI of the pressure washer. There's electronic pressure washers that barely have any oomph behind them. There is gas-powered pressure washers like the one we have that has a lot of, and then it would depend on the nozzle. If it's one of the round tips, if it's the flat tips, people would have reported this. Again, we know we have one factual neighbor of theirs out here on YouTube. We know that. Everybody should know that by now. If you've been in comment sections, you know that there is one neighbor, but she doesn't speak and do all these interviews and things like that. This whole bullshit about this neighbor is completely bullshit. And I'm going to show you more.
I'm not really interested in all that noise, because to me at this point, it's just noise.
That's fair. Other than that, I mean, again, we'll see whatever other questions people have. We want to be cognizant of Tony's time.
Jessica, that is so immature and childish, but they're used to their trauma arena, and she wants attention. Flat out. She wants that back and forth. She's not going to get it from me. We have so many other people to talk about and so much of a bigger problem than her. We'll go back to her when she messes up. She's moving on to the new hot ticket case. You know how they all do. They just go in this, but she'll be back to this.
I know that you've been on TikTok quite a bit today.
Thank you.
You can follow him on Find Caleb Harris. He's been going live. He's helping with both of these cases. But what other questions do you have? We're gonna see.
Okay, now we're gonna switch here, and I'm going to switch to this person. This person I specifically cannot stand. I don't know how this person has. There is something else with this. Something else. I tell you what's going on here. Okay, this is crime lines and bullshittery. This is the wonderful, wonderfully tragic Brooks. And by the way, if you saw my thumbnail, I realized she does show her face. Okay. I used one of those photos. She shows her face. Anyways. I'm gonna be nice. I'm being nice. Okay, let's go. Because yeah. Okay. Put your helmets on, buckle in for the ride.
Good morning, everybody, and how was your weekend? Please.
It was wonderful because I disconnected a little bit and had a great time. Thank you for asking. Carry on.
Tell me you enjoyed your Cinco de Mayo and not paid attention to the craziness that is YouTube. I had some, well, you can see it on the screen. Got me a big old case of Bitch Be Gone, bitch spray. Woo, something else. Instead of Crime Lines and Lies, which is the name of the channel, there's a crime line, there's a timeline, and criminals lie. I think it's easy enough to explain. We had one channel that referred to us as Crime Lines and Lesbians all weekend.
Who did that? I need to know who did that.
Well,
by the way, if that's not offensive in any way, shape, or form, I wouldn't think. Who did that, though?
My husband had no problem with it, but I was like, that's kind of tacky. Lord knows I couldn't get away with saying that.
Tacky.
Always something.
Yeah.
Always something. Love you too. Bye, you babe. Love you too. What craziness. Before we get to it, and we do have some very important things to discuss, let's tell everyone, hola. Welcome to Monday.
Okay, here we go with the soundboard. You can see where we're headed.
Out.
Now, let me put it back into perspective here. If you need to go back to Saturday morning stream, we reviewed what she did on Friday. So she comes out here with this banger of misinformation in a fake neighbor on Friday. We reviewed that on Saturday. So that's where we're at in this timeline. So obviously she takes weekends off. Good for her. I'm glad she does that. Everybody needs to disconnect and take care of their mental health and life. But Monday morning she comes back. People are expecting some sort of verification of this neighbor, right? Because nothing was vetted. It was just a bunch of blatant accusations with no proof behind it. So people are expecting to have some proof in it, right? Something tangible here with these narratives. Oh no, that's not what we're going to get.
How a photo is worth 1,000 words was not at all the horse that I put $1 on. So
yeah,
okay. I said, well, looks like old Seth is moving on up, just like George and Wheezy. Not going to be talking to any of those scumbag YouTubers.
Ooh, do you see the shade? The shade. And not long ago, she was, Seth, did you get my phone number? I sent it to you in the back chat. Seth, I emailed or I messaged you on Facebook. Seth, did you get my phone number? Oh, because Seth has a PR person now that is going to be kind of playing middleman. Seth is on the chopping block now. Do you catch that? We all knew it was coming. Well, it's here.
Hell no. We got bigger fish to fry.
Oh,
Got a lot of stuff going on.
I'm gonna leave my jokes alone because I got a whole lot of fish jokes, but I'm gonna leave them there.
You know, Seth is in North Carolina because he believes that the picture is of his son.
It is absolutely a 100% tit for tat shack. Yes, absolutely. This review is on Brooks, the creator, and the misinformation that she's putting out here on an active missing child. Absolutely. If you don't like the shit talk about her misinformation and the complete and utter disgusting lies and rumors and speculation that she has been encouraging out here, this won't be the chat for you. Anyways, have a great day.
I don't think It is. I believe what Nick Barris said, that it looks AI generated.
I didn't hear either one of them call them scumbag YouTubers.
Even showed the app, the whole 9 yards. And I was like, that makes more sense. Law enforcement doesn't seem to be concerned, because let me tell you what, if I'm
Tit for tat, you can think that, but I'm absolutely correcting the bullshit that she put out here. So at least people have a reference of go fucking fact check and verify and vet the shit that she's putting out here for people to run with. Oh, by the way, you don't happen to be the one that was in my comment section last week that was in her comment section today under a new account, do you? Just wondering if it is you. If it's not, totally fine. But by the way, you guys, if you see, what's her name again? That one, Tar Heel for Life. If you see Tar Heel, if you're here, make yourself known, because I would love to have a conversation with you about your misinformation and bullshit that you tried this morning in this chat. Make yourself seen, because you claimed that we were threatening to dox you and file police reports on you. Ma'am, did you not have enough coffee on Saturday morning? Do you sleep with earplugs in and we're just like trying to read my lips here or something? Like, what is happening? Are you okay? That never happened. Why are you guys just making up lies for no reason? Like, come on.
a missing child, if a missing child is spotted in another state on camera.
Yo, Christina, tell your boyfriend I said to suck my fucking ass too, by the way. I saw you in here and I saw the bullshit you were saying about me over in the other chat. You guys think I'm dumb? Like, I will let you play in my face until I'm sick of it, and I'm sick of it. Fucking stop with the bullshit. You like both of us stuff and then talking shit about your boyfriend says this and this and this about me. I don't give a fuck about what your boyfriend thinks of me, first of all. And today it's just that Monday. I've had enough. I will sit and let people play in my face and say all sorts of shit for the longest time. Don't try to fool any of us. It is what it is. We don't even have to like each other. See, I'm a complete random stranger behind a YouTube screen. And I have my own man. Thank you. I could care less about what your boyfriend thinks of me.
A photo taken. Talk about mainstream media. Oh, Lester Holt every night on NBC News would be talking about it. That's a big deal. A missing child is found alive, which, by the way, is what we want to happen.
Oh, no, I will get smart with you. I will 100% will get smart with you, because you don't belong here. I've made the decision for you. Go sit over there. You're not welcome here. Okay? I don't sit at tables with little petty bitches who try to make comments to get approval by silly creators on YouTube. Have a great day.
What does concern me is that Chrissy and Katie Poo aren't concerned. Now, we did hear.
And yes, I'm that bitch today. 100% fully here. Yep. I'm sick and tired of you people. I'm sick and tired of the immaturity. Adults not being adults, playing these stupid petty games. There's a missing child here. There's no need for this misinformation. There's no need for these little petty games. Y'all out here just doing the most, blatantly lying about the stupidest shit. I don't got time for that in my real life, nor on YouTube. You ain't going to matter to me now, then any other day. Go cry with Samantha Joy. She needs somebody to share some tissues with.
Chrissy Poo say he's got to sleep and he works hours. Well, why doesn't Mrs. Proudfoot hightail it down I-40 to find out if her son is over there? Makes no sense to me. Had a lot of comments over the weekend, and yeah, I had a lot of things, sent to me from other channels who will remain nameless.
Like nonsense supposedly calling you a C word when it was actually twat. Did you get sent that? Did you get sent the clip of me not calling you a C word, but a twat? I hope you did. I hope it made your weekend joyous.
As we all know, in the real world of the internet, actually in the real world, when people speak.
Here's the difference, tit for tat. I don't give a shit. I don't have time to coddle your feelings. I'm not going to sit here and ass pat you and say, good job today. You made an assumption. You came in. Are we talking shit? Hell fucking yeah, we are, because there's a missing child. And these people are intentionally putting out misinformation for no reason in a case. I don't got the time to pat you on the ass and make things warm and fuzzy for your feelings. I am, as I say it, again, it is what it is. This conversation isn't for people who can't handle adult conversations. And you can be worried about my sub count all you want. It ain't going to affect me, because the conversation, the adults that want to have these conversations are here and they know how to find me.
Speak out, they get lambasted. Instead of just listening to what they have to say, questions that can't be answered or don't want to be answered for certain reasons are asked.
She's talking about her interview on Friday that she released. By the way, where's the follow-up with the neighbor and his wife? I thought the neighbor and his wife were coming on for a follow-up. That sure didn't happen.
Why didn't you call law enforcement? Why didn't you call law enforcement? Who says law enforcement wasn't called?
I bet we could FOIA every police call. Oh, wait, that's already been done.
Well, what about CPS? We know CPS was involved. That's the reason Seth was so pissed, because he didn't know about the CPS involvement.
According to Seth, he didn't know.
A lot of questions saying pressure washer is impossible. Now listen, I did not say this was a gas-powered pressure washer.
She's got a lot of excuses instead of just confirming or vetting the information that she put out here as fact. She's got a lot of backtracking excuses for all these things. I didn't say it was a gas-powered one. I just gassed up the chat and let them run wild with this complete fabricated interview with the neighbor.
Sure. We don't know if it's just like one of the portable ones with a high spraying nozzle on it, or
Awesome.
a high-powered nozzle on the hose. I don't know. I'm not going to get into what we're, I don't need the commercial brand, okay? My question is,
and y'all, please excuse my attitude today. I'm just really tired of the playing in my face, acting like we're all good. You guys, and I'm not trying to say this to disregard anybody, because so many of you are so important to me, and being a part of this conversation and having these conversations about the harm long-term in these cases is so huge to me. So each and every one of you that is participating and engaging and carrying these conversations on, it's amazing. But I don't have time to play with strangers on the internet. Do you think I lose sleep at night because fucking Christina's boyfriend doesn't like me? Do you really think? No, I giggle about it. I giggle about this shit. Oh, speaking of which, has anybody seen Mark W. over the weekend? Mama Bear, 222. I think there's 4 twos. You're the only one that I know that Mark said he knows really well. Have you seen Mark around? Anybody know if Mark's okay? Anybody seen Mark? Mark's account's gone. Mark said his mom his mother-in-law had a stroke. Like, I'm starting to worry about Mark out here. Anybody know? Mama Bear, according to Mark, you guys are really good friends. If you hear this, will you please let me know, is Mark okay? Just curious.
Why didn't Chrissy Poo stop what was going on?
Right, Chico? Fucking weird.
Why didn't he tend to the meltdown as opposed to the mama running outside to quell the situation? Makes no sense to me. It makes absolutely no sense. 9 Lives Mama, thank you for the super sticker. I tell you what, y'all are making me blush. What do we have going on here? Radio Gods is back. Thank you for continuing your membership. You guys are the absolute best.
You guys will end up understanding some of what I just questioned very shortly. For those of you that know, pay attention. I'm about to teach you how this stuff goes. Because when you fuck around in my face and play games with me and people I care about, other creators, and involve the parents of a missing child, it's gloves fucking off. Okay? It's going to be that type of week. Buckle up.
We have a very special guest backstage. We had a great conversation yesterday, and I really want this man's insight. So please put your hands together and give a huge Crime Lines and Lesbians welcome to our friend AB.
Oh shit. Oh, this is so instead of doing a follow-up interview with the neighbor like everybody was told was going to happen, she brings up A Balance, I guess is this guy's name. A Balance, AB is what they go by. So instead of bringing up the neighbors, she brings up AB. I don't know this guy. I've heard a lot about him. I've heard things from every side of it. Yeah, J-Dub, I don't know where that was from, the whole lesbian thing. Like, that's not an insult at all. And why is people's sexuality? Like, people are fucking mad weird out here. Mad weird. That's all I got to say. Like, oh, Claus, no, we don't. No, we don't. Mm-mm. No, we don't. We don't appreciate people pretending to be the stepfather of a missing child. We don't. Trust and believe what I'm saying. If you get it, you get it, and you will get it. I'm trying to tell people. I'm trying to give you guys.
Well, let's just start with a few things. A few people have had some questions.
Well, I think we're going to have a lot more questions after this. Hey, MK, thank you for joining and becoming a member. Wendy, thank you for the gifted memberships. That was really sweet. Thor says, boots on the ground. Is CJ giving his full 150? His PPP is back on the ground, but he can't tell you the location. Shh, secret squirrel location. So he could be in a completely other state somewhere roaming around. We don't know. But CJ is back on the ground after setting the misinformation straight.
And of course, this is just in our opinion. They said, why wasn't Chrissy Poo arrested for child abuse?
Oh, because there's always two sides to every story. So, I mean, when you hear all of these stories in a situation like this, if you're in a situation out there in listening land, you're making, you probably should be taking a step back type of thing. You're making too many jumps because there's two sides to every story. Things aren't always as they seem. And when they happen in real time, the best that people can do is report them.
I mean, like when things didn't happen at all, when things didn't factually happen at all, and they're just made up. Maybe that's why nobody was arrested for it.
And that's what people have been doing.
Yes.
So
100%.
when people hear them, all you're hearing at this point are really the highlights of the low points, all compressed into one because there's a missing child.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, why isn't he arrested? Well, this is a developing story, remember. So maybe at some point, that's not for us to determine at this point in time. We're just sorting through the allegations.
Maybe it's because it's in an investigative stage.
Right.
I don't know about your neighborhood where you live.
Maybe in some parts of the world.
I don't know about any of this guy's history at all. So what you guys are saying in the comment section, I'm like, Tribal Gal, thank you. Hey, girl, just popped in to say what a great job you're doing. I've been in the bushes. We all need to hear this. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, a lot of you guys know this guy. Okay.
Police will come in, but people get their backs up nonetheless, and people get irate because they see the writing on the wall, and they are emotional, and that's why we're all here. They just, it's not them and us. It's, happens to all of us, but we just got to keep ourselves rational in that sense, as Tony Mathis would say. We got to be rational.
He did. He 100% did. This is one of the things he said to someone that posted anonymously.
Oh, they're really unhappy about Tony being involved and not having unfiltered access to Seth, it seems.
In a Facebook group.
Unanimously, you mean?
Yeah. Anonymous. Tony replied, I'm certainly available to answer intelligent questions if you'd like to walk out behind your anonymous protection. The whole world would be a different place if people would get to know someone before forming an opinion.
I've seen he's done a lot of terrible coverage in this case and has ran with everything JLR and these people are putting out as fact. He's just piggybacking right off of all of it. Like everything that's wrong and misinformed, he like grabs a hold of it and regurgitates it and with another spin. That's what I've been seeing. I haven't watched hardly, I couldn't tell you much about this guy, but I've seen the content coming out and it's shit, truly. But
that will own what they say don't need to hide. I'd be on Justin's show tonight if you'd like to chat there.
Yeah, it's like a new sheriff in the Old West coming into town, and he has to go and advertise what he's all about down at the local saloon.
100%.
That's how he plays it out. Hey, Tony Mathis, get fucked.
Do we?
What? But they were offended when. What? Can we get back to the interview with the neighbor that you're trying to deflect from with more bullshit? Like this is a good try. Bringing on somebody that's extremely controversial that will say things that people gravitate to. But I'm more interested in your excuses for the non-vetted neighbor, aka not neighbor, that you had on your show to spew all this bullshit. That's personally more interesting to me.
Really need to get to know the parents and the stepfather? Do we really need to get to know them? We do know for a fact.
I just got your text. I adore you.
That Katie Proudfoot was home that night. Katie Proudfoot's the only one not talking. Katie Proudfoot has changed her story.
Why do they think Katie's not talking? Because she's not talking on a public platform and she's not talking to these people. They think she's not talking. Meanwhile, we know, most of us know, 2 creators that have spoken to Katie. They've talked about it almost daily, weekly, and they've been very transparent about that. She's not hiding from anybody.
Katie Proudfoot, if all of the neighbors are telling the truth, I know we've heard from one, but there's several that don't want to go on the record.
Oh, there's several. There's several. Good catch. There's several that don't want to go on the record.
Who to thunk it because they have to live there.
Oh, I can't turn my camera on today.
Or would it be because they don't have any dirty details because these things didn't happen like you're claiming?
I'll tell you why. Yesterday, I got all over Tony Mathis for being a Dallas Cowboys fanboy.
Casey, right?
I gotta have like Blue Jays paraphernalia. Excuse me.
Oh, yeah. We don't want to upset any of the Cowboys fans.
I'll have to. Well, different sports, but I don't want to be called a fanboy. I was just.
You're starting to kind of look like a JLR fanboy if you're asking me.
Oh, you ought to see our bathroom. It's full of Kansas City Chiefs stuff. So,
yeah, cool.
Why would the mother not put an end to the bullying and everything that was going on?
Because she doesn't know how to handle Sebastian at this point. You know, and the older he gets, the more defiant he probably is. So a lot of people have been speculating as to, you know, he's a bit spunky, let's say, and he doesn't understand the rules. And there's always a constant battle in any family in that sense. Not battle to most people, but in this particular set, perhaps some, maybe he was getting some resistance. So therefore, it was just escalating the situation to the next level. And we all know Chris isn't going to be, letting a child living in his house get the best of him in any scenario.
We don't know that. We don't know shit about their day-to-day interaction. Truthfully speaking, we really don't. You can make assumptions till you're blue in the face, but truthfully, we have no idea what he's like as a stepdad, a dad. I hate that term, but we don't know.
Now, your opinion only. Do you believe what this neighbor had to say? I had a lot of people picking on his accent. I guess they don't understand that people.
A lot of people picking on his accent, meaning that it didn't fit the stories that you were giving. People were picking up on the fake accent.
Move out of state. They
Oh,
move where they're
He's
originally
old
from.
school. He's an old school fighter pilot
Oh,
from New York.
that switched to be a UPS driver, right?
I thought that was cool. I trusted him 100% because he spent a lot of time discerning, and he's very,
You trusted him 100%.
very careful in choosing his words that he used, and he every step of the way was careful in his terminology, unlike people like Chris, for example.
He was careful in his terminology when he was repeating rumors and speculation. The Bears. Oh,
He wasn't saying that he was guilty. He said, I believe in
Exactly. He stayed away from that. He's not accusing. He is just relaying what
he was just regurgitating all the rumors and bullshit that's been going on, and then claimed to be a neighbor. That's it.
he's seen. And
Stop trying to make it anything it wasn't. Like, this is exactly what it was. It was some random person who decided to interfere in a missing child case, who pretended to be a neighbor, who came on and spread the rumors and speculation, wrapped it up in a pretty little package and sold it to you. And you idiots bought every single bit of it. Whether you intentionally did it or unintentionally, it just shows how much you care about what you're putting out.
his experiences, and I thought it was a fantastic account, and you could understand and see his training in the military as to recount a scenario coming from a time where they didn't have cameras, and you had to visually go and get a visual on something in the field, bring it back and talk about it in front of a group of your peers.
So this is why she brought this guy on, was for deflection of a mouthpiece, so he would just say weirder shit than the neighbor even did.
Just like Tom Cruise on the what was
Oh my God, he's a Tom Cruise fan too. What is wrong with all? Where have you guys found all these people?
that the USS George Washington?
Yeah.
Top Gun? Yeah. Anyway, excuse me, I forgot what carrier that was, but yeah, man, that guy's cool.
Yeah, that guy's super cool, running with rumors and speculation that have no fact basis. Yeah, super cool. Sign me up. Best buds for life. What? Y'all, are you all okay out there? Once more. Are y'all okay? I'm starting to worry about some of you that are buying this bullshit.
Anyway,
Well, I just think it's very disrespectful that when somebody wants to tell their truth, they're, run through the mud.
She finds it so disrespectful that somebody that wants to tell their story, their truth, aka a bunch of rumor, speculation, and lies, factually, that's factual though, rumor, speculation, and lies, and pretending to be a neighbor who has never even stepped foot in the neighborhood. Anyways, you find it disrespectful that people are questioning this. Meanwhile, putting those rumors on the family and the parents of a missing child. I'm going to marinate on that.
I did see one channel again, which will
that
remain.
happens. You expect that, and he understands that too, because people are very tribal in that sense. But you have to expect it, and good on you for just mentioning it. And, I guess,
Fucking joke.
to set people's minds at ease before you get into the information. I mean, all you can do is bring it up, right? You can't.
Spoonful of shit served right on a silver platter to you.
You can't. You can lead a horse to water in that sense.
Well, I mean,
Oh no, her chat was drinking this all up. In fact, I tried to ask Mama Bear 222 when she was in the chat going along with all this stuff if she had seen Mark earlier today, but only subs could comment. So
as much as I try to warn people that I speak to about how YouTube works, or just the internet in general, or just people in general, he was very measured in what he was saying. But, to answer many, many comments, Yes, CPS was involved. Yes, we have spoken with law enforcement.
Not to interrupt you, Brooks, but he verified essentially on a secondary note, not out of the words of his mouth, but really the information that he presented verified what a lot of people were suggesting in chats, let's say.
Oh, really? That's shocking that he would be able to like wrap it all up after being in chats all along and like play all these little games of taking a piece from here, putting a piece there, putting the story together and serving it to you. It's not shocking, right? He didn't verify anything, but the fact that you guys believe complete and utter baseless rumors.
In that Chris was absolutely lying in front of the camera this whole time and trying to dance away from any sort of open CPS case. Dude should have been all over it since the get-go.
Oh, really? Okay, switching gears really quick. I am going to show you guys something. I don't like Nancy Grace whatsoever, but it is what it is because I think it's just important to factually talk about things. This is 2613 from this interview that was done. Let me tell you one more time. This was factually done a month ago on March 25th, 2024. That is when that is from. So let's take a quick look before we get back over there.
But respecting people's space, he gets a little too close. Is an issue. But he'll not stop and he continues on. So then it causes an issue. And instead of being honest about it, he'll lie like, no, I didn't. Okay, Sebastian.
We're lying about doing
Was that the first time? Was that the first time you had ever hit him with a belt?
Yes, ma'am. The one and only time, actually.
Oh, wait, did he say the one and only time? Just wait a second for all of you that continue to say that this happened recently. Oh, wait, March. March was this interview. Listen up.
When was this?
Years ago, ma'am.
Years ago is what he's always said.
Any idea how many? 3, 10, 1?
It probably at least 3 years ago.
I don't understand
Probably at least 3 years ago.
how that turned.
We're going to listen to a few more minutes of it because the mattress gets addressed in this too. And that was part of the rumors going around that the neighbor happened to catch on to and completely make a spin off of.
Turned into a CPS or Child Protective Services complaint. How were they alerted that you hit him with a belt?
That did not turn into a CPS service call.
There were other CPS reports, right? Were they regarding your other child?
There is one in regards to my daughter that I know of out in New Mexico with my ex-wife and myself.
What happened?
At the time, my ex-wife had fled to New Mexico with my daughter. We were going through a custody and a divorce case at that time. And at the time, when I'd call and try to check in on my daughter, I could never reach my ex-wife at that time. So a welfare check was requested. Law enforcement told me to call CPS if I had concerns. So I called CPS.
Oh, wait, did he say he called CPS himself?
Enforcement did make a welfare call, and that was it.
Oh.
Then how does that turn into a CPS complaint against you?
I have no idea, ma'am. There's a lot of misinformation out there right now in regards to my New Mexico case.
Respectfully, happy melancholist, it doesn't matter. He is stuck to the same story over and over again. And I have a feeling that the way she was trying to ask questions and how she was setting him up, he was probably thinking he was asking or being asked a different question. He's been very clear on that this didn't happen recently. You can twist it however you want. And by the way, Slimy, that piece of shit ain't gonna ever get any attention besides negative because that's what she deserves. And Slimy, calling unsupervised maniacs a nut job, something. Look in the mirror.
That actually has no relevance to the Sebastian case.
Then was there even a CPS complaint against you in New Mexico?
Not that I am aware of. and my attorney and myself are well educated on my case, and there's nothing that we know of.
There's nothing that he knows of. Carry on.
Was there a TRO taken out against you regarding
Yes, ma'am.
your daughter?
Not a TRO, but a TPO.
A temporary protective order. Why was that taken out?
So in regards to that case, my ex-wife had a TPO put against her in Tennessee at the time. When we went to court, that got dissolved. I was ordered to hand my daughter back over to my ex-wife at the time. She gets in a truck. She fleds to New Mexico. 2 days later, she files one in retaliation.
Okay. Again, we all know that custody battles, divorces can get messy.
Is it
Nancy's dramatic pauses just crack me up. Nancy, it's not effective. It's really not effective.
still in place?
No, ma'am, that was dropped within, I think, 2 weeks of it being put in place.
I've got a question about the belt incident. You're telling me that was the only time that you ever hit Sebastian with a belt?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're
Zero hesitation.
also telling me that did not make it to CPS?
No, ma'am, that did not.
The CPS was not about a belt.
Question
Yes, ma'am.
regarding Fate's furniture.
Yes,
A few
ma'am.
days after Sebastian goes missing, did you replace furniture in Fate's room?
Pay attention for those in the back that seem to not be able to get anything straight, especially after this fake neighbor in the interview that they gave about this mattress. Listen clearly.
No, ma'am, I have not replaced any furniture in my daughter's room.
Is there any new furniture in the home?
Yes, ma'am, there's a bed that was given to me, and it's currently in my garage.
Oh, there's a bed that was given to him in the garage.
Has anything been taken out of the home?
No, ma'am.
I was curious about a statement.
Shocking. Shocking that all these questions had been answered, but they still got kicked into some falsified story by a fake neighbor.
Tells me that we're on the right track, because if this was genuinely, and if they were genuinely had a reason for keeping Sebastian, dealing with Sebastian in a certain way, then out with it right away. That way people understand where you're coming from, and you can utilize, say, autism advocates out there already willing to help you, you know, in situations just like this. No, they've been skirting this truth the entire time, refusing and denying, playing games around every point. We're on the right track. Hey, Chris.
We're on the right track. Okay.
What's with that that dent in your garage door? That's around head height, about 4'7" off the ground. Maybe.
Yeah, what is that exactly?
A dent in a garage door? Who doesn't have dents?
I want to know what that is, Chris.
Sebastian's 5'5". Basically everything that the neighbor, and he's not directly the next door neighbor, he lives in the neighborhood.
But he claims he's 45 seconds away.
I'm not putting his address out or anything.
Yeah, because it's fake. You're not going to put his address out because anybody could figure out that that's not the actual neighbor, of course.
I did have a few questions. Did you properly vet him? Yes. I got on an airplane from Tulsa International to Nashville International. He picked me up. I went there for the weekend and I helped him do his taxes.
And he's given us the proper toll of $450 American in order to give us his in order to give us this statement. Now,
in order to have a crisis actor on the channel.
yes.
Oh yeah. I watched him and his wife.
We had to spend 6 hours choosing this guy from a catalog. You better enjoy it.
Chronicles, they reported you too. Dolly and his So who's covering Dolly now right now? That's some bullshit. Yeah, here they go. They've been reporting, well, not that crowd, but another one has been reporting all of my stuff too and all my channels. Again, report away. This is fucking, you guys are, this is the missing child. This is so much bigger than YouTube content. This is a missing child, and y'all are playing games in a missing child case and acting like it's cute and funny. And then you have, when people correct your bullshit, you guys report them and take their channels down because you don't want people to know the truth of what scumbags you are. Make it make sense.
What a jet setter I am. I'm like, what a stupid thing to even ask. You know, if someone knows what they're talking about and if they don't. And everything that he said has, in my opinion, already been verified by Seth.
Oh, it's already been verified. So why would she have to do anything, right?
Chris and Katie.
Well, what they're doing is it's kind of a double entendre here, because all of the information that the neighbors of Chris are bringing are contradicting the statements from Chris, okay, that he's presented up through the grapevine already, through the mainstream media and on social media. And people are naturally going to have questions about that. And right, you want to get, or Chris wants to get himself positioned in a place where he thinks that he's safe.
No, he wants his son. They all want their son brought home. That's what they're. These people think this is a reality TV show that they just get to play games in.
That's going to be a bit of a problem.
A huge problem, because he's the one that brought the mattress up. For some reason, he felt a need to mention it. And then he said it was given to them, I think, by a coworker or a neighbor, and he just put it in the garage. Now, why would he say that?
Because that's what happened. Because he has nothing to, like, what? Y'all make anything into
when it was known to neighbors that that mattress had been in the garage.
A fake neighbor, and the pretend neighbor heard it on YouTube. So of course it was easy to add in there that the neighbor saw it.
It's trying to get past a question in the moment.
No, talk about trying to get past. This is a whole stream of deflection off of her bullshit interview.
Also known as a lie, or there's a bit of a problem, a bit of a spike on the old psychological polygraph. I'm closing my eyes and imagining. Yeah, also known as a bullshit lie. I have to send in my rookie investigative detectives to play good cop, bad cop with you at that point in time.
And this guy knows what he's doing, in my opinion. Again, we heard him give Dolly props and tell Dolly, well, we're just going to have to push it a little bit further. We played that a while ago. Like, their intent is to create as much chaos and confusion and disgusting, vile shit in these because it's content for them. That is pure, plain, simple what this is about here between Brooks and AB.
And again, with the pressure washer, listen, I did not ask if it's a gas powered one you keep on your back.
Oh, yeah.
Plugs into the water hose. I mean, come on now.
Well, you can now listen. Those, I just bought one actually. They range everything from $179 right up to about $3,500 for the diesel that you can take around the back of your truck. No, it's for cleaning his big RV. I mean, it doesn't matter. The point they're not talking about taking the skin off the child. It's not the worst case scenario.
No, that's what people have been saying. That's exactly what people have been saying.
You know, it's still a form of torture.
It didn't even happen. Factually did not happen.
It's a form of shock. It's you can get down, even a pressurized hose. You can put your thumb over the end of a hose. You get it in someone's face. It can fucking hurt, you know?
Well, I think the whole thing is when he was having this meltdown that could be easily heard by the neighbors. Why?
In a completely different state. Yeah, the neighbor that lives in a completely different state and hides behind a bunch of alts pretending to be Chris Proudfood. Texting creators. Yeah, cool.
Right. This was all witnessed by a large group of people. If you sit there and go on Google Earth and sit in their front yard, imagine him out there doing that in that little cul-de-sac. Everybody, like you can hear and see that. That's a big circle that faces one another. That's right out in the open. Everybody saw it.
If that happened, all of the neighbors would have had problems with it, I'm sure, not just this phony fake one.
Everybody saw it. There's no way that that's not seen. These people are sorry to get excited on you. These people it blew my mind the way that he was telling it. Yeah. So, I mean, as far as the information, there's a story. Listen, Chris
Quit stumbling all over your bullshit that you're going to spew. Just spew it.
probably has an explanation for it as well. But the problem here in my mind is, why weren't these talked about way back when? Why are you running away from this? We're overtaking you like a pack of wolves.
We're overtaking you like a pack of wolves. This is exactly the intent, is to try and push one of these parents to the brink. And guess what? They have a missing child. Can you imagine that? All for some fucking content, because these guys, they don't care. They don't care if he's guilty. They don't care. They don't care. This is all about a show and entertainment for them. There's a missing child here that they are playing games with, rumors, speculation, and public opinion. Why does public opinion matter? Because of jury pools, because of people out there searching for him, because he needs to come home. Sebastian needs to come home. And all of this is doing nothing to help that.
With this information, Chris. Okay, and we'll tear you apart with it. You should have outed this a long time ago. You've been avoiding talking about this entire time, to the point that you've been lying to everybody on mainstream media.
Now, I did have a lot of comments, and of course, I just want your opinion on this. We're just having conversation back and forth.
Oh, shut the fuck up and say the more bullshit that you're going to say.
You know,
By the way, next time you overdraw your lips, stop trying to like make a line. It looks just fucking weird. Okay. I don't, you could be a pretty woman, but that is some fucking weird. What's the lady on Drew Carey? The Mimi? That's a Mimi as shit if I've ever seen.
like eggs in China.
We're chewing the fat.
We're chewing the fat. This is not a HIPAA violation. I don't want anyone upset. So the only thing that Chrissy Poo was upset about was me questioning his shoe size and, you know, talking about his.
I want to know if Chris has actually talked to her and called her an F word. I would love to know the source of that.
Physical appearance. Well, turnabout is fair play. Look at all the things you have said about Sebastian. You've talked about everything from the way he drinks his chocolate milk to how his puberty is coming along.
Okay, I'm skipping to the end because I want to hear I want you all to hear the unhingedness that this became.
Nice neighborhood, a super nice neighborhood, and how he has been married.
They go on and deflect, and he tells all this stories. He's another professional, I guess, and know-it-all on autism, even though it varies so much from every person. But that's what the middle that I just cut out is. You can go watch it if you want. It's on Crime Lies and Bullshittery with the bad lips. Anyway,
5 times. I'll never understand. I don't know what people see in him.
Well, because he keeps going and finding them. So, you know, until they get to know, you know, it's going to be, everything's fine until they get to know Chris. Then it's a problem. Then he'll go find a new person. He's the crazy motherfucker that keeps going through the same thing again and again and again and again.
Thank you. The minute these women figure out, once the facade is off, once the new is off, once the
why do his ex-wives have anything to do with Sebastian being missing?
Best behavior is off, then all hell breaks loose. And I have a feeling that none of these women have good stories to tell.
In this relationship with Chris, could you see any sort of compromise going?
Oh, there's a lot going on in Discords. Yeah, with the reporting stuff. I've seen screenshots of it. I've seen a lot of shit.
Back and forth. It's going to be incredibly one-sided, and the one-sided is going to be Chris. How do I know? I've kind of been there mentally before. I think it's the same reason my wife left me. But it's too one-sided. In a situation with Chris Proudfoot and his behavior, you can see it. Fuck, he is so quick to get to the answers to the questions for people. He's cutting things off at the head for some weird reason. Why?
If you guys didn't see Chris's interaction with Cluminati over the weekend, I encourage you to go watch it. He goofed off if people are having a fit. He was real. He was genuine. He was in a safe environment where he could be himself. And it was such a different experience. And we got to learn so much about Sebastian. We got new videos of Sebastian, his mannerisms. Y'all, please go watch that on Clues from this weekend. It was amazing to hear. And it was Clue's husband who led the interview, and it was a fantastic job by all of them. But it wasn't anything but a candid conversation, and it was great.
Why? Because he's got the plan to get away with this. And Katie is not going to be good enough in order to give any sort of answers, because she's going to break, because she's a woman in Chris's mind.
And we've seen how he speaks to women. You know, the woman he was speaking to, can someone remind me
She's buying
of her?
into this lifestyle, this gay leather assless chap, Harley Davidson wannabe lifestyle that he.
Wait, did he just... Why are people's sexuality getting brought into this? Are you people okay? These are the parents of a missing child. Whether you like them or not personally, they're not charged with anything. We don't even have a crime at this point in time. We have a missing child.
He's wanting to lead probably includes a little bit of fucking BDSM. And she's probably, living some sort of life of servitude to him.
I'm thinking of Terry Lynn, not Katie. He was on her channel and she was giving him the what for. And he talks to other people and he goes, "You mean jugs?" He's calling her that because she's a chesty woman.
She has her profile picture as her tatas barely covered. She used to have it all of her. What? She leads with that. That's her calling card on. That was her profile. What?
Well, granted, she's a chesty woman all over YouTube. Like a portion of her boobs are on her avatar. So, I mean, what do you expect? It's somewhat of a compliment, but I understand in the moment, it's probably inappropriate. Like Chris is probably trying to blend in a little bit of humor with everything that he does. It's fun to play the heel. It's fun to be in a situation like that just naturally and throw somebody, because no matter what you say, people jump all over everything anyway. But I'm not okaying that particular scenario at all. I'm just.
He's saying it's okay to be a sexist prick, what they're accusing Chris of being, when in reality, again, you can be offended by it. Terry obviously is not, because she has. But now he's like, it's not a big deal. That's part of her thing. And then he's like, but if it's Chris Proudfood, then it's terrible. What the pick a lane. Just wait. This isn't the ridiculous rant I'm talking about. Seth is on the chopping block because he's not giving these people what they want anymore.
And where are their friends? Do they not have any friends? We know the neighbors were done with their asses.
Good point, Duchess. I forgot about that. Yes. The mattress was not even delivered to the home until after Sebastian went missing. And I forgot that has been stated. Yes. Thank you for that. See, there's just so many rumors anymore. Duchess, great job last night too. Thank you again for all you do for these families. You guys, please go start supporting the creators who actually put action behind their words. Duchess invests so much time, money into doing billboards, Mind of Monsters. There's so many creators, Arctic Fox. The list goes on and on. Y'all, they're doing things to help these people. I will continue to support the creators who put action behind their words. We need to make a difference, and we can do it together. Everybody. We don't need to just talk about these cases as their fodder for the internet. We have a missing child. We have many missing children.
They wouldn't even invite him to any more barbecues because when he was there, he got drunk. He's an obnoxious drunk, according to the neighbor. And all he kept saying,
a drunk that doesn't drink. And even if he did, who cares? He's above the age of 21. I mean, truthfully.
Was, "I'll put a size 14 boot in your ass." It's like, look, Toby Keith.
Why are you so obsessed with the size of his feet and all of his other parts?
Nobody has time for that. All you have to do is have a beer or a damn lemonade, some sweet tea, eat a burger, and get your ass home.
Lori, in your chat, I agree. AB Terry's inappropriate. Oh, I love Terry. I've been listening to her. I've kind of, that's not what it's about to me. I'm just saying, even that comment of mine was a bit sexual. It was inappropriate in today's world. I wouldn't have said that in the workplace, but I'm saying it because I'm on Brooks's live stream. Just
I
a bit of an
No, I
asshole.
think what you're saying is it's.
But I mean, I'm not saying that just because she's wearing and showing something makes it okay for me to make all kinds of weird sexually driven.
That, oh my God, they're turning this into something else. Like, she was okay. Jesus, people, stop.
Comments towards her at all, but that's the way in 2024 people will spin it.
What the hell?
I'm just saying that, you know, in a traditional female alpha male scenario, if a woman is
Alpha male, none of you fucks are alpha males. You guys are incels in the basement.
walking around looking like that, she wants some attention. This is what makeup is for, and she's looking beautiful. It's okay to give a beautiful woman a compliment. However, I hardly think
She is pretty, but ugly on the inside.
that you know, Chris was doing that. So I mean, it's more that he was inappropriate with me than, or not with me, I'm not a woman, but inappropriate with it at that time in that place. But I mean, listen, I don't think she minded that much.
No.
Oh, I think it was 100% meant to demean her because
I think so too. Yeah.
Oh my God, pick a lane, you guys. Like, this is ridiculous, but just wait.
He was
Because
trying to place himself as a, you know, sorry to interrupt you.
she didn't get the best of me type of thing.
Right. His one-uppedness.
And there's no one up for him because all he does is open mouth and change Proudfoot. He doesn't open mouth and insert foot like we've all done.
But think about all the time he
You do that all the time, don't you? But AB's about to do it big time. Just
is taking up in doing that when people are actually wanting to talk honestly about the case. He's so eager to get in front of you to obfuscate essentially with a bunch of nonsense that really isn't going to matter at the end of the day because he wasn't there according to the story. But in reality,
well, at least you're factual on that. He wasn't there.
there's a much deeper story to everything that's going on that we're all figuring out. And
That you're all creating,
that's really the answer to the question that I was just
like a fictional novel you're writing over a missing child and their parents and your alleged fucking fictitious bullshit that you're putting in there.
presenting, isn't it? We can see it.
100%. And there is a reason that Tennessee Bureau of Investigation did not require Chrissy Poo or Seth to take a polygraph because they can prove they weren't at the house.
And let me remind everybody out there, this is what makes social media such a powerful tool, because no matter what, we're seeing all of this, and this is what's detrimental to people that are trying to get away with something the old-fashioned way. And in this circumstance, you know, the ability to communicate and discern information in real time, it's almost impossible not to fall victim in your own schemes. In that sense, it's very dangerous to a person getting away with something. That's why it's something to Chris. We know Chris is fucking trying to pull something. He knows we know.
Okay. Yeah, you're so smart. What is it? The Royal Mounted Police or whatever. What are they called in Canada? Royal Mounted Police something? I don't know. RMP something.
He knows we know. You know what I mean? You just have to keep that bullshit game going a little bit.
Hey, Vic.
Well, he's keeping the bullshit game going because you can't point the finger at Seth and say he shouldn't be advocating for his own son on YouTube.
At the end of it, he doesn't want to.
Buckle up, because here is the unhinged rant. Remember, we all said that they were going to quickly turn on Seth as soon as they couldn't have unfiltered access to Seth and this PR. This is why I was hopeful that the PR guy, now I got questions, I don't know. But anyways, everybody that's been involved in this is just, it's just sad. It's truly sad because Sebastian's still missing and none of them even talk about Sebastian or like, it's so beyond. But here is the unhingedness you're about to hear.
Talk about it. He's protecting his wife and he's protecting the same story that they gave law enforcement. He, in a sense, he's to sum it all up, He's saying it's
Laura.
nobody's business what they told law enforcement. He's giving you a shortened version of it, and we have to protect all of this because it's an it's an open investigation. La la la, split hairs, and he's really doing a song and dance for everybody, while sheltering the reality in what we're actually talking about right now, which is what's really interesting.
A bunch of fake rumors and created shit for creators to have content. Yeah, cool.
Is your fucking lives.
Here
So it really opens everything, every opportunity, or everything back up, because what's really true? You don't like speculating? You don't like brainstorming? Well, you better tune into another channel, because people are going to speculate like nobody's fucking business now.
And it's okay to give an opinion. It's okay to say in
Absolutely.
society,
Please give more.
there's a child missing. And something's not adding up. A child goes missing, a child is found, unless something really, really, really nefarious has happened. I want to.
That's not always 100% the truth. We all know many cases that have not ended in that way. Runaways happen.
Address this comment from Lala615. I don't think I have to worry about y'all's cult being distracted. Y'all seem pretty close-minded. Well, let's talk about
Y'all. We're close-minded. You've got some slack-jawed yokel in your chat using a word like y'all. Get fucked.
Let's talk about y'all.
Yo,
I'm
add
not the one
harder.
that changed the story. I'm not the one that's changed the story. I'm not the one with a media
I'll suck
manager.
on this.
I'm not. I mean, come on. Let's go through what y'all are doing, and it's not me.
Hey, Seth, how's your new media manager, buddy?
Listen.
This is a bullshit fucking deal.
Listen here. He said, hey, Seth, how's your media manager? Here you go.
You're lying to people, pandering to the fucking masses to pad your fucking pockets. Didn't your own mummy tell you about the people who were around the Sebastian Rogers motivated just by that fucking dollar? What's your mom going to see when she sees your behavior sitting in that truck eating fucking donuts when you should be out looking? You know, just driving around to these different locations, making an appearance. Who the fuck are you, Sammy Davis Jr.? On all those fucking drugs? Next thing you'll be snorting them.
Now he's talking about Seth here. It's to be seen what Tony's going to end up doing, honestly. If it would stop, I was hopeful that it would stop some of the misinformation and Seth coming on and throwing fucking bombshells at Chris and Katie and creating the baseline for so much of this rumors and speculation and wild stories. But it's to be seen what's going to happen there. Honestly, my personal opinion on that is I don't understand why so many problematic people are involving themselves in doing stuff in this case, just like this. This is so unnecessary. Seth, no matter our personal feelings on any of it, Seth, Chris, and Katie all have a son that is missing. That is the goal for them. It's like these people act like they're trying to win a crown on YouTube. No, they want their son home.
All these fucking pills. Can't pronounce your T's or P's.
This is terrible.
Now, in all fairness, that is from his shoulder injury.
Don't care.
But nobody
take a fucking aspirin. Take a fucking aspirin.
Nobody
I don't care about your tolerance to
media
opiates.
manager at all. And
fucking care about your fat ass fucking injury, you fat cow.
This is the father of a missing child. This is why they're pissed about Tony being involved, because it shuts off their fodder.
Once you drop 60 fucking pounds, take a walk.
Ooh,
poor fucking me. Oh, look at my.
And he's on the panel of Brooks, who was just begging Seth to hit her up. Call me, maybe. Hey, I don't know you, but I'm going to involve myself anyway. So here's the number. I'm just going to let somebody up on my panel to slander you anyways. Fucking fake bitch.
My fucking dope addiction. Oh my God. Big Pharma fucking made a sucker out of Seth.
The man has an injury and is taking it. This is so unnecessary. It's
get fucked, loser. No wonder Chris fucking controlled you, Seth, so fucking easily. You're a bitch.
That'd be CJ.
Uh-oh, there's my husband. He says, people like that make me sick. How
I'm up here arguing to myself. Seth's not really in my chat. I'm just sitting here having this weird fucking one-way conversation with some person in my mind just for the sake of people's entertainment. I'm kidding.
how can I turn this whole to me?
But it's factual. That's how much I give a fuck. That's what you can do with your goddamn Cash App, Seth. You want money? Fucking go work for it.
And she allowed this.
That's what my husband said yesterday. He just needs to go back to
Fuck,
work.
the last thing I would be doing with the missing child is ever pushing a fucking Cash App on somebody's YouTube channel. You're a fucking idiot, pal. And that's what people are going to remember. And you've got your moms up there at a goddamn vigil talking about other people making money off the case. Your own son's walking around with the Cash App, moron. Milking all these fucking idiots down there who think praying is gonna fucking do something, so itchy to goddamn give you a couple $100 fucking bucks in the moment. How can you pass that up? We see it every fucking day. Oh, come up and tell us what we want to hear, Seth. Come up and fucking tell us what we want to hear, please, so we can. You're just as fucking guilty in this. You did nothing for that boy. You let him go. Now you're wanting to get paid for it.
Is this guy okay? I love my Canadian friends, and this isn't one that I would even want to see as a stranger on the internet. But instead of bringing on the neighbors, like she said she was going to do for a follow-up, the neighbor and the neighbor's wife, aka the fake phony ass people. She brings on this guy for deflection. Spin Central.
Why did the private investigators step away?
Well, because they saw how much of an idiot these people are. They're fucking lying. They're sucking on it. They're milking the fucking tits of the malleable.
You want my opinion?
Yeah, sorry.
I think it's because law enforcement would not.
Anti both of them now because Tony got involved and they think that it's going to slow the misinformation that Seth's been putting out in all of the shows that they've been relying on for content to smear and twist and turn. So they're pissed off at now Seth too. Before Seth was spoon feeding them a bunch of shit to run with on Chris and Katie. Now they think that this is panic mode because Tony could potentially intervene there is what they're thinking. They took no time in smearing him right at the beginning of this and then closing it out. Chris and Seth are what they're
not give them any more information because loose lips sink ships. And when you have Seth and Chris all over social media, they are going to have a drink or something, and they're going to release what has been said. And so when the well is dry, there's no reason to put the bucket down in there.
I would never say this shit on my own channel, by the way.
Well, thank you for bringing it here.
I go, you know what? I would be so much more diplomatic over my own channel. I don't mind coming to other channels and just letting my honest opinion fucking out. And I think that's a lot of what we were looking at with Peter Hyatt in the early on, wasn't it? The same sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm over this. Sorry. I'm completely over this. Like, this is so disgusting. This was from today. Karma Mama. Kay's Karma. Is it Kia Gypsy Karma Moon? Is that right? Kia Gypsy Karma Moon. Is Nancy Grace's release going to be about the polygraph that she did? I can't stand Nancy Grace. Sour Strips. I've heard about that. I heard Savage covered it today too. I will go watch. Is it about that? That's what I was wondering. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, this is y'all, there's a missing child here. What? Oh, you don't know. You're just looking forward to whatever. You're a Nancy fan. Yeah, Nancy's #1 tragedy pin. Why? Why is this happening? Was it Kim? I'll have to watch it. This is too much. Anywho, that's all I can take today. I gotta go anyways. This is just a lot. This is Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is still missing from Hendersonville, Tennessee. He's a 15-year-old who needs to be brought home. All of this is disgusting, unnecessary, complete trash, garbage, scum sucking, all of it. Yeah, Austin, from the sounds of it, that's kind of what it is typically over there. I don't even know anymore. I really genuinely, a lot of these people are hopping on the new case and it'll just continue to cycle, but so from what everybody is saying, they're all volunteers. It doesn't sound like anybody's getting paid, but nobody's being truthful or transparent or anything. So I couldn't tell you what's going on. Tony said that he's not being paid. One of the PIs said that she was on retainer, but then the other PI said she was a volunteer. Like nobody, it's all over the place, y'all. Oh, Sour, I will watch. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, this is Sheila. Like, y'all, let me show you too. Ooh, I gotta go to the pharmacy. Okay. Just so you guys know, I'm not full of shit. Okay, so these are all channel names. I'm not going to go through and scroll, but this is what I'm working on for this week. There's 55 is where I'm at. We are working on collecting data. So I know it looks like channel names and links, but we're collecting data on just Sebastian's case. For me, I'm interested in finding the different channels that claim to be true crime, the genres that they go to, the time invested in this, how much, the watch hours, the views, because the foundation of all of their stories has been misinformation, and then building on that, because I want to be able to package it up and get it to actual media so we can work on furthering protections for victims. So when all these people are out here crying about my freedom of speech, true crime has got to stay, we'll continue to advocate for victims' rights and that victims matter and that all this unnecessary bullshit needs to end. This is not okay. And I don't care if that guy is in Canada. I don't give a shit. This has got to end. And YouTube won't do anything about it. They're fucking hitting people that are calling out the bad shit. Oh, Smiles, I love you. Thank you for that. I need to text you. I have so much. You guys, I have been so... Oh, still in leather. I got your email. I read it. Yes, I read it. I have not responded. I have read all my emails. I just have not responded. Probably won't respond to all. I'm sorry. It's just... Y'all, I don't just like watch videos and pull shit out. I collect timestamps. I'm collecting data. I'm trying to track things. I want things to change out of this. I'm not just talking about it. I want things to change. Again, please go over and check out Arctic Fox's Standardize Amber Alert petition. It is also linked in the description. It should be. Please also go check out Duchess from last night if you can. I know I understand times are tough for everybody, but for me, with what you guys do for me, I pay it forward and donate to nonprofits. And this time we donated to the Big Red Box last month. I paid it forward for that. And then we also helped with Billboard. So these are things that I'm passionate about. I don't just talk about it. And I am so, so happy and proud of so many of you because you guys are in these conversations. You might just be subs. You're not your fellow human beings. but you guys don't want to just talk about it. You put action behind it. Janice in accounting, thank you so much. And there's ways to do it. Like if you don't have Cash App, which Duchess has, and there's ways we can make this work. If you want to help with the billboards, please let us know. Again, t-shirts, all of that information is over there. And this is a challenge to you creators who have been making a ton of money off of Sebastian and all of these missing children and these horror stories. I challenge you. You guys talk about, you're all these Christians, right? You all claim to be amazing Christians. Specifically speaking to one who was amen, and as she's accusing Katie of doing something horrible to her son. Anyways, I challenge you, instead of tithing 10% to your church, I encourage you, since you're making the money off of these children and their tragedies and their stories, to tithe 10% to doing something for these kids, like billboards. Anything to help these families out, to help these people. There are so many families that can't afford to do billboards going through this stuff. And I found something now that I will just continue to donate to, just continue to put money in billboard funds for missing people. There's people across the country we can help. So Gluminati, thank you. Please go watch that too. Susie, that's wild to me. That is wild. And again, I know a lot of you, I have both Pointer Lever, but Duchess has Cash App. Duchess has Cash App. But if you need to get with me and send it to PayPal, like if you only have PayPal and you need to send it to PayPal and then I send it, I've done that with somebody else and it just went seamless, like exactly what was said. Thank you, Vibrator. Anything, you guys start collecting on this. Like if you have a note, like and you're watching and shit popping up in your algorithm, just shoot it in your notes section and then send me a list at the end of the week of like, these are all the channels I saw, and I will break them down and put them where they belong in the genre and stuff too. Anything like that helps. Thank you, Claus. Thank you for being here with us. Love you too. Helen, I will. Thank you so much. Oh, let me put it in. I think let me grab it on my phone. It's Duchess for the missing. Hold on. Why can't I? Damn it. Hold on. Let me just type it in the chat for my phone. Her Cash App. I'm going to put her Cash App below. And y'all, she is transparent as hell on all of it. There's no ifs, ands, buts about where it's going. Dexter's having a fit about maybe just jump out of my chair. Okay. I think that's right. Duchess for the missing. Let me make sure that's right. Duchess for the missing. Oh, it didn't link. Hold on. Let me go to her page. Let me get you the one that links so you don't have to put it in there. Sorry. Give me a moment. Oh, yeah. These guys actually do so much. Y'all, so much. Kiki got his hair all over my face and I'm starting to twitch. Okay, let me see if this links this time. And they're going to be picking the locations for the new ones. Ah, got it to link. There you go. There's a link. There's the direct link to her Cash App. And that is, again, t-shirts. Go watch her last live. You can skip towards the further towards the end, but there's information about the t-shirts for Sebastian and then also for the billboards. Any questions before I get out of here? I hope you guys all have a great day. I probably will not be back. Ooh, I might be back tomorrow. We might do some fun or something. We do have the call-in line, the 1-800 complaint line coming up. That's all set just based on when Kyle is feeling up to it and not terribly worn out. We'll be doing that. But Wednesday, I hope I will have, what I'm doing is I'm picking, this is what, 55 channels. We're going to highlight them all. I'm picking 5 minutes from each channel to show you how problematic this is. There's not a PayPal link, Jessica. Duchess, I don't know if she's in here. I will text her and ask her. Thank you guys so much for helping with this. All of the money is going towards billboards for Sebastian and then will be used for other billboards. There is another family that she talked about it all last night. We appreciate everything so much. Oh, thank you, Cam. I do. Yeah, Jessica, I do. I have PayPal. You can send me a PayPal and then I can funnel it over. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Totally fine. I think my PayPal is in my, I have no problem doing that for people at all. I don't care. Just put in the note and I will absolutely. And then I can send you, can I send you a receipt? I wonder if I can send you a photo. That's what I did last night. I just took the PayPal, took it over there. Yeah, my PayPal is in my links in the thing. Yeah, I can absolutely do that. And then Duchess I'll send it to her on Cash App and she'll get it. And then I'll save the receipts and everything so you can see it too. Yeah, I will absolutely do it. 100%. Okay. Yeah, I think that's right. I think it's friends and family or something like that. Husband's still at work. Yes, unfortunately. Yeah, he's at work. All right, y'all. I will see you guys later. Have a wonderful day. I am off to an appointment in the pharmacy. Have a great Monday. Keep your helmets on. You're going to need them out here. Bye, y'all.